Welcome to today's podcast featuring
Vanessa.
And who are you, Vanessa?
Oh, that's a difficult question. Okay, I am Vanessa.
And where are you from?
I am from Argentina.
Beautiful. And what are you doing in Morocco?
Okay, I just came here for 2 weeks in March, and I'm still here.
Sharing the story that many have experienced, but not everyone has heard these stories. So, a little background before you got to Morocco in March, you said?
Yes.
Okay, we all know what happened in March.
Yes, I just came 3 days before the lockdown here.
And where were you before then?
I was in Paris.
Paris?
Yes, because I was studying there, and I finished, and I plan to come back to Argentina in April, but before that, I wanted to visit Morocco. And to be honest, I was a little bit scared to go alone to Morocco, so I wanted a work away, work away.
Work away is a way that people can travel and find jobs as they travel in hostels, farms, accommodation.
Yes, the people. So I went in a work away in a school in Casablanca. Mm-hmm. I wanted to go to Casablanca because of the movie.
Okay.
So once there, but my plan was to stay just 2 weeks and maybe from Casablanca visit the desert and Chefchaouen, and that was all in Morocco.
So a total of, what did you have, a 4-week trip, 3-week trip?
It was between 2 and 3 weeks.
Did you have a flight out of Morocco
No.
booked? Okay.
No.
So you came here on a one-way ticket?
Yes. When they announced the lockdown, at the beginning I was scared, so I booked 3 flights.
At the beginning of lockdown,
cancel.
Of course.
Finally stay, and I think it was the best decision of my life, maybe.
Some decisions aren't always made for you, though.
Yes. But it was a good decision. I had such a good experience here.
I want to ask you. You said you're living in Paris. So, what languages do you speak?
I speak Spanish, Italian, French.
Italian too.
I'm learning German as well.
Little German.
And I want to learn Arabic, of course.
Of course, a little Darija. Have you learned any Darija since being here?
Some words.
Can you give us an example?
Shukran.
Shukran is a good one.
Salam alaikum.
Peace be upon you is also good.
Yeah.
Thank you and peace be upon you. So, did you use your French a lot here in Morocco?
Yes,
Has that been
a lot, especially in Casablanca.
Yeah, I don't speak any French, so coming down here is always English or nothing when I first got here.
Yeah.
So I would have loved to know some French. It's very useful in Morocco, of course. So you came for this work away. What were you doing there?
I was in language school, so I was going to be a French tutor, just helping the student with the grammar and speak it with them so they can practice speaking.
Yeah. And you got full 2 weeks of that, or was that interrupted?
I haven't been in the school.
You didn't even get to the school?
Because I came to Morocco, and the owner of the school told me, no, we organize a charity trip to Ossoud. Ossoud. It's a place where you find the waterfall and the monkeys.
Okay.
So, I go.
Monkeys too?
Monkeys too, yes.
Very good.
And you can feed them.
I'll have to go there.
Yes. So we went there on the charity trip, my second day in Morocco, and when I was there, they announced the lockdown. So we just came back, and the school was closed.
The second day in Morocco is a lockdown?
Yes, from tomorrow we have lockdown, or from after tomorrow. So we came back, and the school had to close. So I didn't work in the school, but at the end, I helped the owner, making the school online.
Okay.
So I work with that, with an online school.
Good project.
Yes, it
Something
was a good
new.
project.
I was going to ask, before you came to Morocco, I understand the situation had already escalated near Milan. Italy, northern Italy was on lockdown. Did you have any fear that the borders would close? Did this even cross your mind when you came here?
Yes.
You thought about it?
Yes, I thought about it. I didn't expect a lockdown, but I expect they could close the borders or put some restriction in force.
So you're prepared for that. You go, I'm going to Morocco.
You're never prepared. I mean, something crossed in my mind. It's like it can happen, it may happen, but I said, no, it's not going to happen.
And in the end it did. And
yes.
from what we were talking about earlier, you had a situation similar to ours in which you're in a house with many people you did not know maybe before.
Yes, exactly.
How many people were living in this house?
12.
12 people?
Yes.
Wow.
From different countries, different language.
All different languages.
Yes.
There was New Zealand representatives, a French. Who else was there?
Yes, Russia.
Russia.
What else? America.
America.
Yes, but she left the first day.
She left the first day.
Yes, she stayed just one day.
She's like,
So
I'm
we
out of here.
were 13 at the beginning. Poland as well. Poland.
15 in the beginning.
Yes. Poland, Spain, Finland, and Argentina.
Wow. So like in Big Brother, people get evicted the
Exactly.
first.
Big Brother. It was Big Brother experience with everything, with the advantages and disadvantages. People just crying, laughing, everything. Teams fighting each other.
So it's crazy hectic. I remember you
Yes.
telling me a story. There's like a struggle for the head of household. She was actually with children. We had all adults
Yes.
in our house here in Tamraght, but she had the added element of a family or something.
Yes, the New Zealand family. Oh, yeah.
Can you tell me a little bit about this?
Okay, so the house was a kind of military regime. In one moment, we couldn't do anything without the approval of the father of the family. So we have to be careful not to just to drink Coke before in front of the children. Just not to eat junk food in front of the children. Of course, we cannot drink alcohol. We couldn't smoke, nothing.
Yeah.
It's like
Military regime.
regime. Cleaning, we had only 10 minutes for shower, no more than 10 minutes. The father was controlling.
So everyone was timed, regimented.
Yes. So I spent most of the day out of the house, just speaking with people outside, feeding cats.
For me, it's like, I feel when we have this loss of power, you know, borders closed, things go out of control, I think people will go for any power they could get to kind of feel in somewhat.
Exactly. It's like the movie. Have you watched The Wave, this German movie?
No.
There's a sociological experiment.
The Wave.
Yes, it's
No.
like they put some people in a place and say you're going to be the guards, you're going to be the...
Oh, I thought they called that Das Experiment.
Yes,
It's based on an old
It has different
psychology.
names, it depends on the country.
Who was Joseph Lombardo maybe did the prison study at Stanford, and they and people take on this role.
Yes, exactly, that's what happened there. Exactly.
So
Experiment.
guards and prisoners, you would feed the cats on the street, but did you run into any issues? I know Casablanca was under very extreme lockdown. I remember seeing like tanks or armor and cars in the streets. It's much different experience in here. What happened with the cats?
With the cats it was okay. People from Morocco were very nice with me, and the police didn't say anything to me. I was quite free, to be honest. I preferred to be in the streets rather than the house.
Mm-hmm.
So the problem with the cat was inside the house. I mean, this family, they didn't want me to feed cats in the street.
Yeah.
Saying that cats can just infect me with coronavirus.
It's true. Some cats have been proven to carry coronavirus. It's very rare. I know there's a case in France, USA, even a big tiger in the New York Zoo, I think, got coronavirus. So weird stuff.
Yes.
But highly unlikely. We got those comments on our videos too that said, like, stay away from street animals that have corona. And I know dogs are at least safe.
And I think, regarding Moroccan people, they were a little bit scared at the beginning, I think. I mean, they changed their mind. The first day I go, oh, welcome to Morocco. Then 3 days later, when they put the lockdown, it's like, corona.
Everyone had corona, every
Don't
foreigner.
touch that cat.
Yeah.
But then, I think they were like more open-minded to this subject that the foreign people was living with. So I was like, I found a kind of relief with Moroccan people in the street of Casablanca.
You found some camaraderie and some welcoming people,
yes,
right?
Exactly, yes.
So I heard the horror story. Many people have heard horror stories about people being abused, like verbally, or even a guy in Marrakesh, I think is American, by a pharmacist or something, That was like one of the headlines that first started. Of course, if it's on the news, it's going to be extreme,
Yes.
and all the good stories don't really get in there. So I'm glad that you could share this experience of feeling welcomed and
Yes. Yeah.
a sense of lifting of morals with Moroccans. It's beautiful.
Yes.
You're caring for the cats. You're an animal lover.
Mhm.
What I've heard, you're a vegetarian. How long you been a vegetarian?
12 years.
12 years.
Yes.
Wow. But you still eat cheese and egg.
Yes, I mean, I tried to become vegan, but it was hard. I was living in Argentina at that time, and it was far. I didn't have time to cook myself, and it was difficult to find some products.
I understand. I was
Yeah.
vegan myself for
Yeah.
some time, and you really need to cook your own food, or else you're pretty
Exactly,
limited what
yes.
you could get.
But I will try again, eventually.
Inshallah.
Inshallah.
In Morocco, have you found being a vegetarian, it's not part of the culture really here?
Yeah.
Has it been a struggle?
No, I mean, of course, it's not part of the culture here, but it was okay. I could find some very good quality vegetables. Yes. And in some restaurants or shops, I ask for vegetarian, and they do something.
Yes. If you're cooking at home, I think it's a great place to be a vegetarian.
Yes,
Because there's so
exactly.
many good vegetables, like you said.
Yes, the vegetables, the price and the quality.
She made a vegetarian tagine last night. That was quite
Yes.
tasty. Everyone approved.
And I think I spent like €3 for everything. And you
For all
saw
the
it.
veggies.
Yes.
Yeah. And a couple, for bread, and then we had a little
Yeah.
feast there. So vegetarian in Morocco, I've said this in other videos, you've seen in the souk videos, veggies and fruits are abundant, fresh, locally grown, and very tasty. So if you're cooking at home, you have the opportunity to do that. Morocco, great place. And also a lot of Moroccan foods are vegetarian
Yes.
as well.
You have vegetarian option.
Salmon, there's beans often, harsha, all these breads. And what's your favorite Moroccan food you've had?
Tagine.
Tagine.
Yes,
You
I
just
love
like
tagine.
a good veggie
Yes.
tagine.
And smen, I cannot pronounce it.
Salmon.
Yes, exactly that.
And they call it something different in other places, can't think of the name, but like a Moroccan pancake, really good with honey, cheese, oil.
And the avocado juice.
Avocado juice is
yes.
also another Moroccan
Yes.
specialty. That's very nice. They call it zaza in parts, and that's when it's mixed with dates and nuts and maybe some chocolate sometimes. So that's also one of my favorites. Avocado juice is very common in Morocco. I had no idea when I came here. I'm
Me neither.
I'm like, how do you juice an avocado? Like, you can't juice an avocado, but it's just
Yes.
a blended avocado shake that's very tasty and be 10, 15 dirham and great snack wherever you're at.
Yes, definitely.
So vegetarian in Morocco, very tasty. You spent this time in Casablanca, and then the lockdown lifted in July, right?
Yes.
Is this when you were able to finally leave? Morocco opened in July to allow for some domestic tourism, and the situation, we had less cases then, so you were able to leave Casablanca.
Yes.
You gladly did so, right?
Yes. I mean, when I was there, Casablanca is my favorite city in Morocco because it was the
Really?
only city I knew.
I've never been. It's the only city you like the movie too, so okay.
Yes, because of the movie. But I like Casablanca. But when I left there, I started traveling. The first city I visited was Chefchaouen. I said, no, I like more here than Casablanca.
Chefchaouen over Casablanca.
Yes.
I like Chefchaouen.
Chefchaouen.
Beautiful.
Yes. Then I traveled to Fez, where I had the chance to meet Lucia.
Lucia is another Argentinian. I had no idea there were Argentinians still here in Morocco. I met her last week or 2 weeks ago, and she said there was more. She's like, oh, there's like 1,000 or 100 or 1,000 Argentinians.
And the cruise ship it was 1,000.
1,000, but now only left. There's 5 of you
Yes.
left standing still in Morocco. Okay, so you went to Fez, and you met Lucia, and you stayed at the Funky Fez over
The
there.
Funky Fez, I learned some stories from there, and I realized that I was not the only one who was living in Big Brother house. They had kind of the same experience that I had.
Yeah.
It was nice. So from there, I thought I was never going to see Lucia again. I went to the desert. It was It was great. I was the only
Where in the
tourist.
desert did you go?
Merzouga.
Merzouga, only tourists.
Only tourists there, so people were so kind to me. Only tourists. Was alone in the desert in the tent with the camel.
Wow.
So from there I came to Agadir, and actually I came here to help in an animal shelter.
Mm-hmm.
I stayed there one day, but we had a problem with the dog, rabies.
Yeah.
So I didn't have the vaccines.
So you had to leave from
Yes, that was sad.
Always trying to help out over here, always doing the workaways and trying to get back. I appreciate that.
So, well, fine. I said, no, I'm going to leave this area, I'm not going to stay here after what happened. I said, oh, so beautiful. Maybe I stay here like 5 days more. And it has been a month today, I think it's today.
Here in the Agadir region?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Okay, before we go on there, I want to go back to the desert. When I went to the desert last year, I went to Merzouga as well. And I was with a group of people, but just walking out in the desert and seeing nothing but these shifting sands is quite a profound experience for someone. What did you find this big contrast? What did you find within yourself at this time?
I felt in peace. I mean, I felt that I didn't have to worry about anything there. I'm alone here in this place. It was like peace. I can walk, I can stay, I can do whatever I want here.
Peace is something that is hard for people to find in these times, you know.
Yes.
Like I said, this loss of control, this constriction, or people feel like a restriction, that to find peace in this time is a powerful thing. To accept where you are and say, this is where I need to be, what can I learn here is a great thing.
And you can imagine, after being 3 months locked in a house, even if I used to go out, it's from that house to be in that desert. It was like, oh, I couldn't believe my eyes.
Forget the people, just the expansiveness and the rigidity of the city, the solidness of the buildings, then to the shifting sands and a bit of isolation. I'm sure that was like a drink of fresh water going to the desert.
Exactly.
Inspired you to then come down to the Agadir area, and you spent some time in, you called it Orir, but actually like Tamawanza is what we call that area above near K11, which is the beach there, and the roundabout is Banana Village Orir. You spent some time in Tamawanza, and you found more drama.
Yes, another Big Brother house.
Another Big Brother house.
But this time it was with Moroccan people. It was me, the only foreign, the only woman, living with 4 guys from Morocco.
Oh, jeez.
So we had some dramas as well.
Wow.
It was nice. I mean, they are nice. People here are quite nice, but I think they take things very seriously. So from something so small, they make something very big.
In English, we say you make a mountain out of a molehill.
Ah, okay.
You know what a mole is? A little animal that lives and digs holes. Make a mountain out of a molehill sometimes. And that leads us to how we met. She went to Surf Therapy Morocco, which was also in Tamawanza. And if you check my videos, why I left America to live in Morocco was recorded at Surf Therapy Morocco. Brahim was in the video with Tarek yesterday, so we met through Brahim at the beach the day with Lisa when we filmed that video. And that brings us to here. I was surprised to meet an Argentinian. I'd traveled there myself, and I was excited to talk about Argentina a little bit, and I thought it would be great to share your story here. So let's talk about Argentina a little bit. Favorite Argentinian foods? What do you miss most from Argentina?
Sandwich de miga.
Sandwich de miga.
It's a sandwich.
Okay.
De miga.
De miga.
Yes. Do you remember that?
No, it is.
It's like the bread, the white bread.
Yeah.
Oh, that's all. I mean, it's not something special.
It's white bread, and what do they put on it?
Tomato, cheese, aubergine, whatever you want.
Okay.
I miss those from champignon. We can also add champignon. But I couldn't find it anywhere else in the world, so I can say that. Alfajor.
Alfajor. What's that? Avocado?
Do you remember? It's like the 2 cookies?
2 cookies.
With dulce de leche in the middle.
Okay, yeah.
Covered with chocolate.
Dulce de leche, like a caramel. Very nice. I like Chipas, very
But
much.
chipas, they are not from Argentina.
I know, but they're still very popular and very good. I got a shout out to the chipas. And rare Argentinian who doesn't drink mate,
Yes, I
doesn't
don't.
drink mate.
I don't like it.
Mate is yerba, which is it's not
Herbs.
coffee. It's not tea.
No, it's not tea. It's a kind of. The difference, like you have the herbs
Yeah.
inside the glass.
And
And the mate.
you drink out of a bomba, and like Moroccans drink tea, Argentinians drink mate, like even more.
Even more, yes.
More, I think.
Because it's easier.
It's portable. You have this hot thermos you take with you all day. So I think they drink it even more than tea. And when I went to Argentina, I saw this similarity in culture where they're drinking this hot beverage with their friends all day. And America, we might get a coffee, but I saw this similarity between Morocco and Argentina very strongly in their hot beverage social culture. You go to the park and everyone is surrounded by mate. There's always
Yes.
friend groups and
Yes.
everyone has a mate. And you fill it, pass it,
Yes, even in the classroom. You have it in the classroom.
classroom too.
And university, yes.
Well, I saw outside cafes babies drinking mate. I'm like,
Yes.
they're getting kids hooked on this stuff early. It must be a whole big industry because it's kind of dangerous. I believe there's some
It is.
negative side effects
It
to
is.
mate. It's addictive for
It's
sure.
addictive, yes, and people drink it with a lot of sugar, so that's bad. We have a lot of diabetes.
Or honey
in
too is
Argentina.
nice.
Yeah, but most of people it's just sugar.
Mate.
Mate.
Keeps you going all day. I like to see these similarities in cultures, though they're different. Lucia came to town. One of the first questions she asked her, "You have mate?"
Yes.
I saw it, and I'm just like, "No, I don't take mate." And she's like, "What?" So I guess Argentinians in Morocco are struggling for their mate right now. So if anyone watching knows any connections for mate, please send them to Tamraght. We have someone that needs mate.
Yes, an emergency.
Mate emergency. I made the Choco Torta episode.
Jugador.
Choco Torta is Argentinian dessert as well, which is very nice. We put a Moroccan spin on it. So check out that video if you want a taste of Argentinian dessert made by an American with Moroccan
But
ingredients.
it's not that complicated. I mean, it's
No.
chocolate, biscuits,
Yeah.
and then you add dulce de leche.
And milk, right? You dip them in milk.
Yeah.
Easy. And you could get the, what is it? The caramel, I forgot, like Nestle caramel here. You can find it. It's close enough to dulce de leche. Talking about Argentina more, I went there and I was surprised to find how cheap it was. When I was there, I found food and eating out even cheaper than Morocco at times.
Yes, it's true.
And then I learned that the economic situation in Argentina has vastly changed over the past 10 years, and you have told me that in the past year it's gotten even worse. A lot of people don't know about this. Can you explain the situation kind of past 10 years? Like, I know it got worse than...
Actually, the crisis started like 5 years. 10 years ago, we were a rich country. We can say the salary, well, the minimum was $500. I mean, for a Latin America country, it was okay. It was the highest in South America. But then, like 5 years ago, we had a change in the power, and the government started borrowing money from international banks. We didn't need the money. That's the thing. We didn't need the money, and that money just disappeared, and now we have to pay the debts. And of course, we don't have money.
No hay plata.
No hay plata. So the economy collapsed, and now our currency just plumped. It was like the beginning of 2019. It was $1, 23 pesos.
And then when I went there in May, it was 45 pesos.
And in August it was 80.
And 80 in August. So
And now it's like 120.
it's crazy.
Yes, it is.
If you look at the graph, it's like worse than the corona graph.
Yes.
I watch international currencies a lot. I like to see how events and news and elections change what a currency is worth. Like, for example, with Brexit, pound went crashing. Surprisingly, with Trump, the dollar was doing good for many years, and it stays pretty even with the dirham. It's been between 9 and 10 dirham, but like the dollar against the Argentinian peso,
that's unique.
crazy.
It's like every day the price change every day. If you go to the supermarket, Coke can cost maybe 50 pesos, and you go the other day 60 pesos. So
Prices change a lot.
Yes.
I used to get empanadas for like 30 something pesos.
Mm-hmm.
They're probably more now.
Yeah, 60 maybe.
60, so things change very quickly over there.
Yeah.
Is that why you left Argentina? Was the economic situation?
No, because I had a job there. I just wanted to live in Europe because I was searching for more open-minded people.
Okay.
I mean, I like Argentina, but the place where I live in Argentina is not that open-minded, and I felt I need a change.
You're from Cordoba?
Yes.
Okay. Cordoba's in the west.
It's in the center. Center, but it's a conservative city.
Mm-hmm.
So, no, I'm looking for more freedom.
We didn't talk about this. What do you do for work?
I'm a lawyer.
You're a lawyer.
Yes.
And that allowed you to probably live in a pretty good living in Argentina,
Yes.
but you said you want more open-mindedness, adventure maybe.
Yes, adventure, yes. Culture as well. I was looking for cultural events more often, not like in my city. We don't have that in Argentina. It's close to the countryside.
And you speak French. How did you learn French?
I learned in Argentina in Alliance Française.
In what?
Alliance Française.
What is
it's
that?
like it's a school, a French school.
Okay.
When I moved to France, I was in the university there, in Paris.
Yeah, you said you just finished your studies.
Yes.
You're working and studying, or?
Yes, at the same time.
Okay.
I mean, it's expensive to live in Paris.
I'm sure. I've just spent a couple days in Paris when I was there. And yeah, it was expensive. Sometimes, like, I'll fly Chicago to Paris and then Paris to Morocco or something like that. But not a city I would choose to spend a lot of time in myself. I'm not a big city person, but it led you here, this Paris-Morocco connection. And we've just kind of all connected here. So I think we're going to wrap the interview up unless you got any final words.
No, I just to say that I love Morocco. I fell in love with Morocco, with people here, landscapes, foods, everything. Now, I mean, I'm planning to stay in the future. I would like to buy a house here in the area.
So
I'll stay forever.
You love Morocco.
Yes, I do.
Great.
Yes, I do.
So this crazy experience, think you're coming to work in a school for a little bit, then you end up in the Big Brother house in Casablanca, still get to travel in Chefchaouen, Fez, Merzouga, that's great. And in a special time when there's no tourists, I'm sure your presence was very appreciated as Morocco's trying to promote their own domestic tourism now, even a little less now with the lockdowns, but you found a little window of wiggle in there. But just want to welcome you to the Agadir Tamraght area. I'm happy you're happy. Yeah. I'm sure fellow Moroccans are very happy you're happy here. So Mahabat, you're welcome. And that's a wrap for today. So we'll say goodbye.
Goodbye, and thank you, and thank Morocco as well.
Muchas gracias.
Muchas gracias.
El channel de Más Acro hoy. Quizás hicimos una entrevista en español próximo vez, porque tenemos miradores que no hablan inglés, pero se escribieron comentarios en español que no entendí nada, pero muy bien.
Sí.
Pues quizás.
Te ayudo a hacer las preguntas en español.
Sí, yo lo tengo, todo aquí, en el cerebro como máquina. Hasta luego, see you later, thank you.